Gotta turn all the streams back on. There's like 5 different buttons I have to press because I'm special like that. Buttons, buttons, buttons. All the buttons. Alright, hello YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Let me go ahead and start off by saying I do have severe storms actually hitting my location right now, so it's entirely possible I'm going to take a power hit, in which case I will suddenly disappear. If that happens, I apologize. Now, a couple things I want to know. One, there's a little appendage over Colleyville in northeastern Tarrant County, which could in itself mean could have a little bit of damaging winds trying to come out of this thunderstorm. The potential for quarter-size hail does continue across eastern Keller, Grapevine, Colleyville, moving into Flower Mound, Louisville, Carrollton, and the Colony in the next 20 minutes. Severe storm in southern Tarrant, northern Johnson counties, Burleson, Crowley, Rendon, Everman, Kennedale, and Mansfield. This storm is trying to make its way towards Arlington, Grand Prairie, could eventually impact Joe Pool Lake in the next 20 minutes. Could have quarter-size hail as well. I'm going to take a look from a different radar site, since that radar is the Fort Worth radar is under the storm and isn't showing the greatest view. Yeah, this thing moving towards Mansfield has a very nasty hail core. Could have quarter, maybe even golf ball size hail. Same thing exists with the storm moving towards Louisville, north side of DFW International Airport, Carrollton, the Colony, and then eventually may make its way up the Sam Rayburn Tollway towards, well, Allen and McKinney, but that's still about an hour away. Here, what I'm going to do is I'll just load this, I'll loop the radar, and let y'all take a look. Might be able to hear the rain. It's pouring here now. Hopefully we don't take any power hits or anything obnoxious of the sort. Oh, it's always nice when the main chat platform used for interagency discussions is offline due to server issues, but that's annoying. So you can see the storm that is now approaching the north side of DFW International Airport still continues to exhibit supercellular characteristics. Same thing with the storm now over Burleson and, well, the radar site. Just for fun, I want to take a look at the storm that was in East Texas that produced at least 2 brief tornadoes on, well, one west of Carthage, one northeast of Carthage. It has exited the state of Texas. No longer a threat to the state of Texas. This tornadic supercell is now a threat to Shreveport, unfortunately. Probably have a brief tornado maybe underway south of Greenwood, Louisiana. I'm going to take a look and see if there's any sort of debris signature. No clear-cut sign of a debris signature, but definitely a concerning prospect for those in Louisiana. We do note the Storm Prediction Center just issued a localized, what's called mesoscale discussion, or a short-range, spatially limited discussion for the storms in North Texas. I'm just going to read it real quick, but I'll put the radar back over the Metroplex first. Their discussion reads, quote, storm persistence expected with some potential for additional organization intensification. Threat for all severe hazards, including tornadoes, remains across North Texas. Pair of ongoing supercells across Johnson and Tarrant counties are moving within an environment very supportive for storm persistence and additional intensification. Recent low-level winds measured from the Fort Worth radar indicate a pretty much extreme amount of wind shear. Dew points have increased to 68, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, helping increase instability values to the strong category. As such, the potential exists for additional storm organization and a relatively higher threat for all severe hazards, including large hail and the possibility of tornadoes. So that is why we're carefully watching these 2 storms of the DFW Metroplex. Not only are they in environments capable of producing plenty of hail, but they are in an environment that could support additional organization, including the threat for a tornado. At this time, neither of these storms is showing imminent signs of such a threat. However, we are going to keep a very close eye on both of them. So, as these storms get to move east-northeast over the next 30 minutes, they could bring quarter to ping-pong ball-size hail to, well, southeastern Tarrant County, moving into southwestern Dallas County. And then with the storm currently over DFW International, well, just north of DFW International Airport into Grapevine, Flower Mound, Louisville, that storm is going to make its way up into northern Dallas County and southern Collin County. And that one has shown a relative increase in its reflectivity appearance due to the close range of the radar. It's kind of a messy image, but you can kind of see it has a little hook echo over Colleyville and Grapevine. Again, that does not mean there is a tornado. It just means we have probably some gusty winds, but we are going to keep an eye out just in case we have additional intensification occur. I mean, it's far from certain, and obviously nothing short-term indicates that is a threat. I'm just looking at some data. It looks like we could definitely have some high winds impacting Grapevine right now. Alright, I'm gonna pop that back up. Sorry, I'm getting myself back organized here. Press that. Press that. Press that. And voila. All right. So, folks, first off, let me say that if you're wanting updates on storms near you, we're only talking about the most intense storms. That's what I have to focus on, as I am one individual, and as my beautiful balding head shows, I can't do everything at once, especially when we start talking about the numerous storms. So we focus on the worst storms that are impacting the most amount of folks, or at least a population. And we do that. If we're not talking about your storm, that's probably a good thing. You can keep track of the storms in your area or wherever you want using our free weather radar on our website or in our free mobile app, texasstormchasers.com/radar. Likewise, we are streaming this live coverage on our website and in our free mobile app, texasstormchasers.com/live. Now, what I do want to look at is, one, we definitely do have more of a hook appendage trying to develop over, well, the west side of DFW International Airport. That's not a sign we have a tornado or an imminent tornado threat, but it does show we could be seeing an increase in low-level organization with this thunderstorm, which would require close monitoring. Fortunately, being in the fact that we're in the Metroplex, there's probably a few hundred storm spotters visually watching it, so we would know very, very quickly if something started to occur in the low-level organization department. I'm going to pop out of the Fort Worth radar because the storm over Burleson to Mansfield is actually on the radar, and we're going to pop to the radar near Abilene to get a better look at any rotation. There's a bit of rotation with this storm in the mid-levels, which is to be expected. Nothing that screams imminent issues in terms of a tornado threat. Same thing with the storm over DFW International Airport up in the Flower Mound, but we do know both these storms have a very significant hail core. The storm over Mansfield to Rendon to west of Midlothian, let's just say near the 360-287 split, definitely has an impressive hail core aloft. Same thing with the storm that's going to make its way towards Flower Mound, Carrollton, and Louisville. We do know numerous thunderstorms are now underway across southern and central Oklahoma. All those storms are going to be coming down south of the Red River with the cool front after 11 p.m., and they're going to come say hello. And some of those are probably going to be severe with the threat for damaging winds, maybe some hail, not nearly as significant as the storms we have now, and there could also be brief tornadoes. Hey Paige, you got your radar up? Fort Worth. It's going to look weird to you, but look at the reflectivity from the radar south to near Alvarado. A couple things to note. One, we're watching this storm that we over Mansfield, Rendon, has actually turned more right. It's moving more due east now versus northeast, which indicates two things. One, congratulations, Cowboys Stadium. You're no longer going to get destroyed by hail in about 30 minutes. Two, this could be a sign that there is an uptick in the storm's organization, and thus we're going to have to watch it closely for signs of low-level rotation. I almost wonder, we're literally on the radar, so seeing features isn't especially easy, but almost looks like we have a little hook appendage right down 35W from Burleson to north of Alvarado. Now, there is no clear-cut signs that we're talking about an imminent tornado threat, but anytime a storm develops a hook, you want to keep an eye on it, just in case it tries to organize, and, well, we're going to be doing that. Same thing with this storm over Grapevine. Both storms are capable of producing quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, and both are in an environment that would support the possibility of them intensifying further and becoming possibly tornadic. Again, that is not imminent. We do not see signs of that occurring right now.
It's not a very tornadic
looking. Neither are looking like they're tornadic at this point. They're scary appendages, and, well, appendages are scary. So we're going to be watching them. Storm currently over the north side of DFW International Airport up to Louisville, continues to move east-northeast towards Carrollton. Might be trying to develop a little farther to the south now, which would result in the possibility of more of northern Dallas County getting in on this activity in the next 30 minutes. Quarter golf ball size hail possible with the strongest storms. Almost looks like a split or I think it did split. I think the storm over DFW just split the airport, which would result in the storm over northern Dallas County moving more east, which would result in a left split over Louisville moving up towards Frisco and McKinney over the next 30 minutes. My apologies, I'm just theorizing relative storm theories. At 8:07 p.m., so about 40 minutes ago, 3-inch hail, which is larger than the size of a baseball, was reported 1/2 mile northwest of Gainesville. So, let's just say probably near the rest stop, just south of the Red River. I'm going to send Paige a link real quick for something going on up here called a picture, if I can get it to load. Do not make fun of me over there. I did not ask for theater participation. All right. But there is a tornado watch in place for all of North Texas and Northeast Texas. These individual thunderstorms would be ones that we'd have to watch for signs of increasing rotation. Our main event in terms of the most storms will be the squall line that fires up. Probably, we're still 2 or 3 hours from that. And you can see hints of it already in Oklahoma, where there's numerous severe thunderstorms, and that's going to build south into Texas and Texoma. Some of those storms are probably going to be severe with probably quarter to golf ball size hail, winds of 60 to 75 miles an hour, and brief tornadoes. There is a lot of wind shear, including low-level wind shear, in place right now, which is why we're keeping a very close eye on these discrete thunderstorms. Even though it has been sunset was about an hour and a half ago now, we've got a lot of upper-level dynamics moving in, which is actually helping to increase the amount of wind shear and instability, which means the threat for tornadoes may actually increase over the next hour with these two discrete thunderstorms in the Metroplex. The threat of a tornado is far from a promise or a guarantee, but there is certainly a potential we could have issues. And we're going to be watching closely. For now, though, hail definitely remains the primary issue. Storm from Louisville moving to Carrollton, probably now the north side of Irving. Potential for quarter golf ball size hail. It's going to try and move east at about 30-35. Storm that is in Mansfield is going to move towards Cedar Hill, north side of Midlothian, DeSoto, Glen Heights, Red Oak, Lancaster, Hutchins. Could produce hail, quarter to golf ball. And we're going to watch it for signs of rotation as well. I'm going to take a look at the storm impacting the south side of Shreveport, Louisiana right now. It's the one that produced at least 2 tornadoes earlier near Carthage.
Did you see the pictures from the Cook County, like the Gainesville hail?
We get some in the group?
It was just shared in the group I sent.
You can
Cook County.
Go ahead and share them to the page.
Emergency management. Well, I'm sending so you can.
Okay, I'll look. So Shreveport's got a problem right now with a potential tornado heading towards town. We have a strong storm north of Longview, east of Highway 280 or 259. I guess that's probably also 281. That's not severe right now. Could have some hail as it moves towards Jefferson. We're going to keep an eye on that. And then looking from Shreveport, you've got the storms back over the Metroplex. One supercell over the north side of DFW International Airport, Louisville, Carrollton, and then a very potent supercell over Mansfield, west of Midlothian. Now, these are going to look different than what you'd see from the Fort Worth radar because we're looking from Shreveport, and we're looking at the mid and upper levels of the storm, or the updraft of the storm. As we switch back to the Fort Worth radar, you can see a different look, definitely more of a supercellular look. I'd say, yeah, that is a hook echo now, south of Mansfield, northeast of Alvarado. That does not mean there's a tornado, but it means we're going to keep an eye on things. There's no well-defined couplet, and if there was, we'd have a problem because that's like 200 feet above the surface right there. Storm up in Louisville to Carrollton also has a bit of a hook echo, looks more like an HP or high precipitation supercell. That's going to be making its way towards Plano, Richardson, Allen over the next 30 minutes. But I think it's safe to say that over the last 30 minutes, these storms have definitely begun looking more like supercells versus just strong to severe storms. Each are now exhibiting signs of a hook echo and have a clear defined shape that you'd expect with organized supercells. So we are going to keep a close eye on things as wind shear continues to increase over the next hour or two and a tornado watch remains in effect. But our main show in terms of the number of storms that are going to impact folks later tonight, where is the live stream button? There we go. Sorry, I had to press some buttons. Will be the squall line that's going to fire up around midnight. And that's going to bring additional thunderstorms to North Texas, the DFW Metroplex, Northeast Texas. And that squall line is going to probably fire all the way down into the hill country and then move southeast overnight. And then that's what's going to impact most folks. Now, in terms of the tornado threat for the next several hours, will be with these two supercells and any other discrete storms that fire up. Later tonight, the squall line comes in. We could still have a brief... That scared me.
That was really close.
Could still have damaging winds, hail, maybe a few brief tornadoes. We note the National Weather Service in Shreveport is taking shelter because they have a potential tornado heading right towards their office. Yep. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take another break where I'll come back as soon as things start to get a little more active. I want to take a look at a few nerdy things behind the scenes, and, well, I don't want to confuse anybody with that. So key message here is more severe storms with a squall line come after 11 p.m. or midnight in North Texas, Texoma, Northeast Texas. Short-term threat in North Texas will be these two dangerous supercells in the Metroplex. Right now, they could have quarter to golf ball size hail. They are in an environment that has strong low-level wind shear, so we are carefully watching in case they start trying to spin up in the tornado department. That is not an issue right now, but we're going to watch carefully, and a tornado watch is in effect for North Texas and Northeast Texas until 2 a.m., and it's probably going to be extended beyond that, at least a severe weather watch. So I'm David Reimer. Keep tabs on the radar. We will be back here in a bit. Free interactive weather radar on our website and our mobile app, same with the live coverage, and I'm going to go ahead and try and share some hail pictures we've gotten on Facebook once we get off here. So we shall be back.